Namaste and welcome back to this series on Sri Dakshinamurti Dhyana Shloka. This video is dedicated to the 6th Dhyana Shloka. If this is the first video you're watching in the series, then I urge you to first watch the introductory video where I have expounded upon the esoteric significance of Sri Dakshinamurti's form. So let's get going now. Like the other videos, I will first chant the shloka in Sanskrit and then I'll expound on the meaning in English. Om Chit-Ghanaya Maheshwara Vatamoola Nivasine Sat-Chit-Ananda Rūpa Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. So the 6th Dhyana Shloka begins with a very auspicious reference which is packed with meaning, Chit-Ghanaya. So I would just briefly digress to bring more perspective into this. The Western scientific reductionist understanding of consciousness is that it is a product of material interactions. So there is the body and there are all the systems, the nervous interactions and interactions between organs and cells and everything. And as all these systems interact, as the complexity of these interactions increase, there is that phenomenon, the emergent phenomenon of consciousness or awareness that arises. So that is the Western understanding, that consciousness is a product of material processes. So in some sense, the order, the sequential order is that biological material processes emerge first and from them arises this non-physical emergent property of consciousness. But if we contrast this with the ancient Sanatana understanding, particularly seen in Ayurveda, the Sankhya philosophy dwells upon this. So the ancient Indian cosmological understanding of, the explanation they give for the emergence of nature and physical living organisms is consciousness or awareness, the primordial field. I would loosely use the word energy, although that is not the equivalent. Whatever is that primordial, foundational substance, existence, the field of life that exists, from which all other forms come forth and into which all other forms collapse or subside. That primordial field is timeless. It is primordial. There is no particular moment in which it arose. It is not it is not the consequence of some other activities or processes. So that primordial field exists. We call it Chitta, or we also call it Sat. I'll come to that. So that pure field, that unbroken, undivided, unitary, holistic field of existence is primordial, and it sort of consolidates. It is not like something else comes out of it. It consolidates. It consolidates into different forms. So think of it like the ocean, and at certain places in the ocean is spread over a very vast expanse, but at certain places the ocean sort of consolidates into a limited wave, and every wave has a unique form. Some waves are small, some waves are large, some waves curl, some waves are very flat and gentle. So the ocean consolidates. It's not like the ocean creates the wave using a different substance. It itself becomes the wave. That is the ancient Indian understanding, the Sanatana understanding of how existence, manifest existence, physical existence comes into being. So you can see the contrast. So the Western understanding is existence is somehow, it was there in the beginning, and consciousness was a later property that emerged. Whereas the Sanatana understanding is consciousness is primordial and it consolidates into existence. Now, the word Chit-Ghana basically points to that meaning. Chit, or the field of consciousness, the field of existence, is timeless, is beyond space, it is vast, it is not limited, it is beyond form and name, and everything is beyond all attributes. But at certain points, it consolidates. It limits itself to a certain form, to a certain attribute. So Ghana means consolidation, solidification. Chit-Ghana. So Sri Dakshinamurti is defined as the very consolidation of pure awareness. He is nothing but that. So every cell of his being, if I may use the terminology, we are not referring to a biological body here. Every bit of his being is nothing but pure illumination, chit, intelligence. He is consolidated intelligence. The subjective experience we all have is, there is this body, and inside this body there is a faculty of intelligence. So we see it like, something in the corner there which I access every now and then and I use, and then it's not there at other times. But when referring to Sri Dakshinamurti, the reference is different, that he is a consolidation of that very principle of illumination, of intelligence, of wisdom, of consciousness, of pure consciousness, which is undivided, which is whole, which is blissful. So Chit-Ghanaya, referring to him as that, he is nothing but that awareness, consolidated. Maheshwara, in an earlier video, I have expounded on the deeper meaning of the word Isha, referring to the divine as the immanent controller. Control is not the right word. I think what I'm trying to imply is someone who, brings harmony and order, not by exercising authority, control in that sense. It's not instructional control, it's not directional control, like you do this, you don't do this. It's not that. That is not the idea of the divine and Sanatana Dharma. Think of it like this. So, can we say the body controls the hand? Yes, in a loose, colloquial sense we can say that. But if you were to look a little more deeply into this idea, is there a body separate from the hand? Because the body is nothing but all these parts, right? You cannot say that the hand belongs to the body or the body controls the hand, because it's not like the body is standing apart and the hand is some separate thing which the body is controlling. No, the body itself acts as the hand. The body itself acts as the eyes when they move. So the body flows through each of its parts. The body expresses itself through each of those parts. So we cannot strictly use the word the body controls its parts. I think the better expression would be the body expresses through its parts. The body moves as the hand. The body moves as the eyes. Ishwara refers to something like that. The divine moves as the sun. The divine moves as the wind. Not that he sits apart and says, oh, you, the wind, now move north. And you, the sun, come on, rise up from the east. It's not that. That is Ishwara. And Maheshwara, you're making it sound even more sacred and divine. So the great immanent controller, the great one who brings order and harmony, who moves as everything. Chit-Ghanaya Maheshaya Vatamoola Nivasini, more specifically referring to the form of Dakshinamurti as the primordial teacher seated near the roots of the banyan tree, the Vata Vriksha. Sat-Chit-Ananda Rūpaya. I think it's a very commonly occurring terminology, Sat-Chit-Ananda, and we seem to very easily spell it out, probably not reflecting enough on its profound significance. So what does it refer to? Sat means pure existence. Pure existence, not as something, not as some form, not as some organism, but existence. Just think about it. When we live this embodied existence, when we are in our bodies, we are only able to think of the concept of existence in terms of a nama rupa. Tree exists, insect exists, rock exists. So we are always tying the concept of existence to a form. And when that form disappears, we think, we invent the concept of non-existence. Oh, there was a tree there, but now the tree is not there. Oh, there was this bird or this animal was there for so many years and now it is not existent. So because we see existence, we tie the concept of existence to a form. Therefore, we invent the opposite, the illusory opposite of non-existence. When the form disappears, we think existence has disappeared. But Sat is existence that is pure, that is unconditional, that is not contingent on a form or a name or an object. And therefore, that existence cannot ever become non-existent. Forms and names will arise upon that. But that very principle of existence never goes non-existent. The undying, the ever-present, that is Sat. Chit. Chit is, you can think of how this quality of existence, if it is one side of the coin, it is never without the other side of the coin, which is Chit, which is an illuminated awareness, understanding that I exist. The knowledge, the understanding of that existence. See, existence can be there, but it needs to reflect upon itself, or what Acharya Abhinava Gupta of Kashmir Shaivism says, Pratyabhignya, self-recognition. It needs to also recognize that I am there. So I would give a very loose example. Please don't take this very literally, but I need to use these examples to drive home the point. Think of it when you're deep asleep. You are existent, but do you know you're existent? That is like Sat. Existence is there, but it does not know itself. And then you wake up, and then you realize you're walking around, you're in touch with reality. That is Chit, the realization, the illumination that I am there. This is a very, very crude example. It doesn't do justice to the profundity of the concept, but I hope it drives home the point. So Sat is that pure, unqualified, unconditional existence, which has no opposite like non-existence, because it is not dependent on a form or a name. It didn't start at some point to end at some other point. It just is. And then Chit is the divine quality of reflecting back upon itself and sort of owning to itself, oh yes, I am here, I am. So Sat, Chit and Ananda, and such an experience where there is pure, unconditional, undivided, timeless, spaceless, ageless existence, accompanied with the quality of Chit, that I am there and I know I am there. It is naturally a cause for bliss, unconditional bliss, because I have nothing to lose. I will never go out of existence. I will never not exist. And I alone exist, I alone am there, so there is nothing for me to compare with, there is nothing for me to, feel better than or feel superior to or whatever. So Sat, Chit, when they come together, there is automatically bliss. There is nothing other than me, and that experience is profoundly blissful. Sat-Chit-Ananda. So these three, I don't know if the word quality is appropriate, these three attributes of the divine always flow together. So Sat-Chit-Ananda Rūpaya, he is the very embodiment of that. He is the very embodiment of that unqualified, unconditional existence. He is the very embodiment of that profound illumination, that intelligence which illuminates its own existence. And he is that unconditional, causeless bliss. Sat-Chit-Ananda Rūpaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. To that Dakshinamurti I bow down. I offer my obeisance. Okay. So with that we come to the end of the 6th Dhyana Shloka, and there is only one more Dhyana Shloka left, the 7th one. Please follow the series to watch the 7th video also. And if this video is of value to you, if it has brought you insight and understanding, please like my video and support my work, and subscribe to my page, and see you soon in my next video, the last video of the Dakshinamurti Dhyana Shloka series. Namaste.